Hello, and this is DWTT, and we will be talking about what I'm thinking. And what I'm thinking is, where is Arsenal going to finish this season? Where, oh, where? Hello, and like I said, here's my segment. What I'm thinking, and we'll be talking about essentially where will Arsenal be finishing this season in the table, and I don't know. I don't know what if you've seen any of the preseason games, you're going to be a little concerned, like I am, about where we are going to finish and how we're gonna end up. The last two seasons, eighth place, um, FA Cup got us into the Europa League, but the FA Cup, got us into the Europa League, but eighth place finish. Then next season, eighth place again, but no FA Cup, no anything, no trophies at all. And what are we gonna do? So let's see. Let's go through kind of my thoughts on where we're going to finish in the table. We've got three new teams coming into the league. As you know, we've got Norwich City, Watford, and why am I Brentford as well? Oh, yeah, I just forgot about Brentford, but why? I don't know. So let's talk about them, and let's actually talk about where Arsenal will finish, and kind of where I feel we're going to end up. So first off, I'm going to start with positions I think have. There's no way, basically, no way we are finishing in those positions. As you can see, the places I think that we have no chance of finishing is first through third and 18 through 20. So I don't think we'll be one of the top teams in the league, and I don't think we're getting relegated either. Some people probably feel like we can, but I think we're just, we do have enough talent on the team to keep us out of the bottom, even though last season it looked like we were going down that route, but it did change. The top three teams, that would probably filling those spots. Definitely City, Liverpool, United, even Chelsea. So those four teams right there are going to be battling for those top three spots, and I just can't see an Arsenal team kind of competing with them, not with the squads that they have. Just don't see it. Just don't see it. Anybody see? I don't think any of us see it there. The bottom of the league, I just think there's more than enough teams to cover those spots. Let's see some teams that I think will be there. Crystal Palace, maybe even Watford will go back down again. Even the Wolves might struggle a little bit. New coach, they're losing some players. They may still lose some more. So we'll see how they do. Even Brentford could, but I kind of feel like they've got enough attacking that they might be able to keep themselves up for a little while and kind of do what Leeds did. They have an attack and they're able to help use that to keep them in the league. But yeah, I don't see us hitting that bottom, and I definitely don't see us at the top. It would be nice, but it's a lot more work to do, and we're just not there. We're just not ready to be able to handle those spots. I think the team, as many has said, when this whole change happened, that we were 5 to 10 years out, which I thought was going to be an issue. Was going to be not really true. Here we are. Probably 4 years since. 4 years out, maybe 5 years out, and we're still nowhere close. Team still needs to be revamped. We're still not anywhere near starting 11 that can compete, much less the depth behind it to maintain the quality that you need to be able to make it through a Premier League season, in addition to the cups. And if you're at the top of the table, also the European tournaments that you're going to have to play. So I think we're far out from there. Being able to do that consistently we might be able to make it there, but being a consistent team that can actually grow from year to year, I think we are still far from that. So this is my no way list. I don't know what you think. Let me know in the comments, but I think we are far from getting into those positions. All right. So next, so no way do I think these happen. Next are kind of extreme cases, I feel, and we'll get into those. So next up is my all right. So next up are my extreme. So these are positions that I think if we have a really really good year, things happen that we just not we're surprised by. Maybe they do go in and go out there and they go out there in the transfer market and they get some players that we just weren't on the radar or seem to not be on our radar. And they pick them up and the team gels quickly. Yeah, we could finish fourth by it. It's an extreme, of course. No way means no chance. Extreme means highly unlikely. But there is a chance. But I don't see those either. Fourth, because now we're talking fourth, so now you're still battling with probably Chelsea, United, Leicester City. You're still dealing with those teams. Even a team like even West Ham could be competing for that fourth spot if things went their way. Just too many teams once again that we're going to have to deal with that we're just not set up to handle right now. Just fourth is it would be nice. Everybody talked about when Arsenal would get top four, and people thought that was their trophy. And now that's what everybody kind of wants, no matter what, because the chances of being number one are tough. And next season will be just that. It'll be based on where we are right now. You're looking at a City team that just picked up Grealish, a Liverpool team who most likely will be healthy, and they've picked up some additional parts that they need, hopefully to keep them going. So we'll see how that works for them. A United team and a Chelsea team. So fourth would be tough. So 15 through 17, that means that's kind of where we were last season in that December time period, late November, December time period where we were winless for basically almost 2 months. If we're down at that point, and that will probably, if it's going to happen, will happen around the same time based on where we are right now, before changes are made. And if we're there, most likely this might be the end of Arteta as we know it. This time with Arsenal, would probably have to change if we're sitting down there, because I don't know if we'll be able to recover. Unless there's some extenuating circumstances like injuries and whatnot, and it's outside of his control. But I think a lot of things that were in his control since the season ended, and him and Adu and the Garlic, I don't think they've done more than they've done enough. So, if anything does happen, now a lot of it will be on them, regardless of whether they could have helped it or not. It's a team needed to have some depth. It's needed depth for a long time. So that will be needed, and it shouldn't be needed as much, right? We're only playing one game a week until we get into the cups. But still, other teams will be playing in Europe, so that may be competing for some of these cup titles. So, we need to be able to compete with it in the cups at least. But finishing 15 through 17 would be disappointing. I think that would be a rare scenario for us, though. Once again, let me know if you have any comments about that, and then we'll go from there. So next up, we're going to talk about what I feel are disappointing positions that we would be in the league. Eighth, as you can see, 8 through 14. Eighth definitely means we basically have not improved. Anything after that means that we have disappointed once again and dropped in the league. And a team that needs to, doesn't really need to, but is expected based on where they've been and what they know how to do, should be able to improve from year to year. I always say we should be improving from game to game. and that's true from year to year. You should see some improvement from year to year. I think we're seeing that. If you look at where we are right now, Saka's first and second years in the league, he's improved, right? He went from just being a player that came in for cup games and the occasional Premier League game, and now he's what I would consider a start on this team, and it's shown that also in the international team as well. So can only expect that to improve. So anything below that will be disappointing, and probably help keep the team at eighth and below. There are a lot of teams in that segment. You can see like 6 teams, so teams that probably will be sitting in that position. Probably your Watfords, definitely your Wolves. Burnley will probably be in those positions. Brentford probably. Even Brighton, teams that probably might be in that kind of in that section right there. It would be really. I mean, as I said, it would be really disappointing if we were there, which means we hadn't improved. I don't even want to think about that, but it's possible. Some people are predicting that that's where we'll be, and it's not out of the realm of possibilities based on what this team has done and where we are today. We haven't really made any improvements in terms of the starting. We might have a little better depth, but in terms of starting 11, I think that's going to be the Achilles heel for us. Till that is sorted out, it doesn't really matter what your depth is sometimes, even though the depth will keep you from getting worse than what you already are. But we need more. Of course, we need more. We always need more. So that's my disappointing. So that would be one of those positions I think are disappointing for Arsenal. And now next we are going to get into the likely, right? So likely, I kind of feel like we'll probably be in that 5 to 7 range. That in some people's eyes is really even a stretch as well, because now you're talking about teams like your Leicester Cities could be in that position. Everton could be in that position. Your Spurs could be in that position, right? So now talking about teams at your level right now, that's where we are basically, and Aston Villa could be there as well. So there's a number of teams that could be sitting in that position and hoping to be in that position, because it's going to be tough. So it's going to be tough. And the first 3 games of the season, we kind of go from what some may think are Brentford, a lower team in the table, to 2 top teams in the table in Chelsea and City. So we could start out really rough, or we could take those as challenges and maybe come out with more than 3 points in those 3 matches, which would be really good to have. Which means we have only lost 1 match at that point, if at the most, anyways. So 5 through 7 is probably more realistic, but it's likely, and I haven't put any definitives on anything, as you can tell, except for maybe the extremes and the no way. But we're probably sitting in around that mid-table right now, between 5 and probably 12. It's kind of where we're likely to finish. But I kind of feel like with the team that we have, we should be able to kind of grow from where we were last season, move up the table a little bit, finish maybe 5th through 7th would be an improvement from where we are. The players need to, will need to work hard. It will not be easy to get there. I think the teams around us are all improving, and if they're not improving, at the least they, to me, they have a process in place, a plan, a formation that works for them, that they may improve on, and that might hurt us because from what I can tell, Arsenal kind of has switched around and maybe switching again with their lineup and what they have, and some of the players that they brought in will be new. Partey is already out, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue. Ben White has just come in, but he actually, in his last match, he looked good. I didn't notice it because I was so disgusted with the entire game, but he did make many plays that did catch my eye. Keeping the ball away from Son, could come in there and take the ball away from some of our players if we didn't do our jobs. But he was able to using his strength, get the ball, keep the ball away from Son. A couple times made some nice headers. And what's surprising is, that's his second game, probably first full game, starting game for Arsenal, and he looked fine where he was. And other players had been there for a while, just didn't fit it. Just don't look like they've been sitting around for not sitting around, but actually been part of the preseason. That's kind of disappointing, right? The one thing Arteta said is that he kind of lacked from the previous seasons is he didn't have an opportunity to work with the team in preseason. Well, he's got that now, and I don't feel like it did any difference. I don't feel like it's improved anything from the first games that we saw to the last one. We played tougher teams, but we still look in danger of getting scored on. I mean, today's game versus the Spurs, there were multiple chances where they could have probably scored 2 or 3 more goals. So that in itself is concerning, especially if they do get Harry Kane back. If he does decide, if he is staying, he does play for a bit. That could be a problem in itself. They look dangerous on the attack. We gave the ball up multiple times in our midfield, which is where our problem lies. Our depth there is concerning, and that might keep us from getting to our goals. 5th through 7 is likely, but no ways are guaranteed. So that's where I expect us to finish, though. I expect us to finish 5 through 7, which would require some improvements. Not only Partey hopefully being healthy for most of the season, Pepe improving from where he was the previous season. I expect Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe to improve from where they were, to get a little bit more attacking out of them, maybe some more goals and assists from them from the previous season. I'm not expecting them to be the leaders in terms of assists and goals, but I do expect them to improve from where they were. That's the only way this is going to work. We're going to have to lean on them somewhat, but hopefully it's just in a supporting role and let some of the other players maybe take a bigger chunk of the responsibility. Hopefully that's Partey when he comes in. Ben White from the back maybe be able to help out there. But we need the strikers. We need the strikers. We need our forwards to play much better. And I'm mainly talking about Aubameyang and Lacazette. They're going to need to improve from last season. In Lacazette's case, probably just stay where he was because that was perfect. We'll take that at any season. I don't know if he's going to be able to do better than that going forward. He may wear down if we push it too much. But Aubameyang needs to be much better. Needs to be the leading scorer if things are going to work out. If they're going to keep him, that's the only way it's going to be worth our while. So we'll see. We'll see how that all pans out. But that's the expectation that I have for the team. If I was coaching it, that's what I would be expecting. And finishing 5 through 7 would be a likely opportunity for the team with some hard work. We'll see if they get it done. So that's it for my discussion, my little segment on where Arsenal is finishing. I'm Gary from DWTT. This is my channel, and hope to see you soon. There you go, and I'll just like to leave you these words. Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. All right, and hopefully the ride that we have with Arsenal will be a nice, smooth one. It's going to have some ups and downs, but at the end of the day, hopefully we're looking down at a lot more teams than are above us. So, here we go.